Good afternoon. My name is Rod Dion, and I'm chairperson of the Cohoes, City of Cohoes Industrial Development Agency, known as throughout here as the agency. I'm also the hearing officer for this public hearing that we are holding this public hearing to solicit comments on the current conditions at a project facility as herein defined, located at 6 School Street, City of Cohoes, Albany County, New York. Erie Boulevard Hydropower LP has submitted an application to the agency, which application requested that the agency consider undertaking a project known as the project for the benefit of the company. Said project to include the following: A, the acquisition of by the agency of the interest in a certain parcel of land containing approximately 49.5 acres located on School Street and North Mobile Street, known as School Street Hydroelectric Property. The tax map is noted in here. Inside the City of Cohoes, Albany County, New York. The leased land, together with all buildings and improvements located on the leased land, including the pre-existing electrical generating facility, the facility. 2, the reconstruction and renovation of the facility by the company. And 3, the acquisition and installation thereof and thereon of certain equipment, including U3 and U4 concrete penstocks, collectively known as the equipment. The leased land, the facility, and the equipment being collectively referred to as the project facility. All of the foregoing owned and operated by the company as an electric generation facility, and any other directly and indirectly related activities. B, the granting by the agency of certain financial assistance to the company within the meaning of Section 845 of the Act, with respect to the foregoing, including potential exemptions from these certain sales and use tax, real property tax, real property transfer tax, and mortgage reporting taxes, collectively known as financial assistance. And C, the lease, with an obligation to purchase or sale of the project facility to the company or such other persons as may be designated by the company and agreed upon by the agency. We're doing stuff here. The agency is considered whatever: A, to undertake the project, and B, to provide certain exemptions from taxation with respect to the project, including exemptions from real property taxes related to the acquisition, construction, and installation of the project facility. If any portion of the financial assistance is to be granted by the agency with respect to the project is not consistent with the agency's uniform tax exemption policy, the agency will follow the procedures for deviation for such policy set forth in Section 874 of the Act prior to granting such portion of the financial assistance. If the agency determines to proceed with the project facility will be acquired, constructed, and installed by the agency and will be leased with an obligation to purchase, as sold by the agencies, the Erie Boulevard Hydropower LP and its designated pursuant to the project agreement, requiring that the Erie Boulevard Hydropower LP or its designated make certain payments to the agency. Every thing that I signed except for okay. Okay. I intend to provide general information on the agency's general authority and public purpose to provide assistance to projects. I will then open the comment period to receive comments for all present who wish to comment on either the current conditions at the project facility. I would like to note that the agency is live streaming this public hearing. The legal authorization and powers of the agency, the provisions of Chapter 1030 of the laws of 1969 of New York State constituting Title I of Article 18.1 of the General Municipal Law, Chapter 24 of the Consolidated Law in New York as amended in Chapter 313 of the 1972 laws of the State of New York, as amendment, codified as Section 896-A of SAP, General Municipal Law, authorizing the agency to promote, develop, encourage, and assist in the inquiry, construction, reconstruction, improvement, maintenance, and equipping the furnishing of manufacturing, warehousing, research, commercial, and industrial facilities, among others. The purpose of this public hearing is pursuant to the documents entered into the connection from the project, collectively the basic documents, each by and between the agency and the company, as such of other persons who have been designated by the company and agreed upon by the agency. The company is required to, among other things, provide certain public benefits and maintain the project facility in good condition. The agency has received and is considering various reports and other information related to the project facility and desires to consider any additional public comment with respect to the current conditions at the project facility, including any public health and safety concerns. Excuse me. The chairperson of the agency caused notice of this public hearing to be mailed on July 2nd, 2025 to the Chief Executive Officer of the affected taxing jurisdictions, as such quoted term is defined in the Act. Collectively, the affected taxing jurisdictions be published on July 4, 2025 in the Albany Times Union, a newspaper of general circulation available to the residents of the city of Cohoes, Albany County, New York, and 3 posted on the agency's website on February 18th. PTO day went up on the website, I believe it was Friday, so. With a notice on it. It was Friday, which would have been the 17th of July. And a public bulletin board located within City Hall, located at 97 Mohawk Street, in the city of Cohoes, Albany County, New York, and I can see that. Copies of this public hearing are available on the table. Additionally, we have made arrangements for a stenographer to be present in order to accurately make a record of any public comment. Note, the purpose of this public hearing is to solicit public comment with respect to the current conditions at the project facility. We are not here to answer questions, although in the course of the hearing, we will consider questions if we have the information to answer the questions, and therefore is sufficient time to consider such questions. Now, unless there are any objections, I'm going to suggest waiving the full reading of the notice of the public hearing, please, and instead request that the full text of the notice of this public hearing be inserted into the record of the public hearing. The comments received today at the public hearing will be presented to the members of the agency at or on or prior to the subsequent meeting of the agency currently scheduled for August 19, 2025 at 4:30 p.m. And at such meeting, the agency will then consider the current conditions of project facility. As previously stated, copies of the notice of this public hearing are available on the table. Written comments, the notice of this public hearing indicated that written comments can be addressed to myself, Rodney Dion, to the Cohoes IDA, received, and I have not received any written comments at this point, I believe. None. So at this point, are there any representatives from the company here to speak? With no notice of members of the our company being here, we will we'll now move on. Remarks by the tax jurisdiction.
Yeah, there's no representative.
Right, either side. Okay. At this time, I'd like to accept and introduce the following written correspondence. We will note that Resolution 16 of 2025 by the City of Cohoes Common Council dated April 22nd, 2025, approving and recommending of this pilot. A letter of the City of Cohoes School District dated May 25th, 2025, approving the recommendation of this project. And we will ask council to submit both those letters for the record. The Cohoes IDA would like to go on record at this time. I would like to accept and introduce the economic impact statement procedures from Cameron Associates by the Cohoes IDA in relation to this project into the public record. The economic impact statement demonstrates positive economic benefits of the project would have on the city of Cohoes. The Cohoes IDA has been considering the proposed pilot application for over a year. The agency board has been reluctant to review and grant the pilot agreement as part of the settlement of the tax litigation brought against the city of Cohoes by the applicant. Despite the unusual context of using a pilot to settle the tax, what's that? Thank you. That's over my figure, sorry. Certiorari litigation brought against the city of Cohoes by the applicant. Both the city council and the city of Cohoes school district have consented to the pilot terms and have asked the Cohoes IDA to consider the pilot. Accordingly, the Cohoes IDA will move forward with consideration of the pilot at its August 19, 2025 meeting. I will now open the floor for comments. We will note that it is 4:16. And we will wait if anyone wants to speak for a few minutes. You want me to go to the past 4:30? Okay.
I do want to move the Friday the 18th.
Thank you.
So we'll pause and reopen. For any further comments?
So, what's the date?
Yes.
You want me to
You explain.